And if you're into like Satanism, witches, those kind of horror films, perfect.
Love Satanism.
Yep.
Watch it. This episode is brought to you by Blockhead Printing. For all your custom nerdy shirt printing, cons, parties, or gaming clubs, this is a full-service, badass screen printing company. Check out blockheadprinting.com. On this week's show, we're discussing the new Han Solo movie title. We're discussing Ultra Sun and Moon, Battlefront 2's trailer, EA shutting down Visceral Games, and the Black Panther trailer. Rami joins us from Coaching with Geeks. And I also want to throw out, we promised Comic Book Club The Realm this week. We put that off till next week. So please read The Realm number 2 before next week.
Everybody's disappointed.
Coaching for Geeks.
Let's do it. What's up, everybody?
What up?
Just want to do a quick shout again to our contests. When this episode comes out on that Saturday or that Sunday, so October 28th, our Thor contest is going to end. So if you live in the Denver area, we're giving away early screening tickets to Thor. They'll be on the 30th if you can make it. Then on Halloween night is when our contest for the PlayStation Store Cash ends. So you got a week on that one. Go to the website, gamescomicsculture.wordpress.com. Click in there. You'll be able to see our contest, all the details and how you can join it. So somebody get that money.
Please.
So what are we at?
Sure.
Episode 75. Should we celebrate that? Or
75. Diamond.
Yeah.
Diamond episode.
25 episodes.
Totally. So how's everybody's week? Dirk?
Pretty good, pretty good. I did a lot of reading this week, actually. I got Monstrous Volume 2. It's kicking ass more than ever. I think at this point it's probably number 2 behind Saga in terms of image books for me.
Monstrous?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only one I think out of the bunch, or maybe I'm wrong, somebody can correct me out there, but it's a New York Times bestseller.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm guessing Saga's probably, but yeah.
I never even heard of it. Who does it? What's the deal?
Marjorie Liu is the writer.
Okay.
And the artist is Sana Takeda.
Okay. Cool.
So it's got a sort of a manga style to it. I think I mentioned it in the past, like steampunk sort of horror thing, fantasy, all swirled into one. It's really incredible, and it'll probably be my next CBDC.
Okay.
What else? I read Black Magic number 7. Still reading.
It's good, isn't
Robin
it?
Hobb. Oh yeah, man.
It's
incredible.
That ending's kind of crazy. I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good, so good. And when we talk about the realm, I'll get into some questions with Corey about how he's finding this stuff. But
right?
Robin Hobb's Assassin's Quest. I'm still reading, and then in terms of other stuff, I got the Tal Doré campaign.
Nice. That's
For people
awesome.
that follow Critical Role, this is the story behind this. I'll keep it short and sweet. This is homebrew content that got adopted into the D&D 5th edition world. This guy, Matthew Mercer, who does the voice of Kitagawa in Persona 5.
Oh, wow. You don't want to be Kitagawa. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, he's the DM of this like live Twitch stream that they do called Critical Role, and he made this world, this setting, and it got so popular and so big and intricate that he just basically wrote this book with a bunch of people for D&D.
That's awesome, man.
Wizards of the Coast adopted it into their world, so this is canon now, so to speak.
Is it in the Forgotten Realms?
No, I don't I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I think it's separate. Yeah. 'Cause
No,
they
it's
got,
not Forgotten Realms.
They have pistols in here. You can see.
Oh, cool.
And then let's see. I watched The Witch.
Oh, isn't
from
it great?
2015. It's amazing,
Oh man, I love that movie.
dude.
It's so
Amazing.
good. Yeah. You know they built the whole set by hand with like tools from the day.
What?
That,
Really?
Yeah, the cabin area.
That's
like
not surprising.
The whole thing was built from scratch using the tools they had then.
You know,
And
they asked a bunch of professors, and they said that is the closest to New England life that they've ever seen on film.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not just horror, just
And
anything.
The language is out of control,
Yeah.
right? Like it took me like a half an hour to get it, and then it finally like clicked in my head.
Well, I had to do subtitles. I mean, I wasn't. I could. I had to go back.
You're from
into
the
it.
South.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
I love
thought
that
it was
movie.
amazing. The pacing in it, like the lack of soundtrack, it's just silence half the time.
Really, no non-diegetic music at all.
I mean, there's just you get some screeching of violins occasionally. That's about it.
Yeah.
But also, interestingly enough, and I'll end my week on this, he's set to do a remake of the 1927 Nosferatu.
Wow.
Wow.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Is the girl in that magic in the New Mutants? Is that?
I think
same
she
actress?
is. Now that you say it, yep.
I think she is. Yeah.
I think she is.
Yep. I can't recommend that one enough. I'm totally down with Black Stanley. We're homies.
Oh yeah. Dude, yeah. I don't want to
watch
watch
it.
it's actually really frightening. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, and if you're into like Satanism, witches, those kind of horror films, perfect.
Love Satanism.
Yeah.
Yep, watch it.
Is that on Netflix? Or-
No, Amazon Prime is where I found it.
Woot.
Oh,
I have
really?
Amazon Prime.
Sure, I can find it somewhere.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's great.
Yeah, good Halloween movie.
Sweet.
Yep, that's my week.
That's what you
Good
got.
job, Chris.
Jeff, what do you got?
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. DJ. Okay. Hey, wow. Yeah, I played some Everybody's Golf. I learned the alphabet tonight, and maybe it'll help me spell my Twitter handle. No, I played a lot of Everybody's Golf this week. Just was really killing it. When we all played that one night, that was pretty good. Watching how y'all played taught me a lot of things. Picked up
Vortex
Shadows.
Valley.
You've been using
Right?
Infinity Clubs.
I stopped using the Infinity Clubs.
Stop using them, and you got the
Yes.
Vortex.
I did. I got to Vortex Valley. I'm on the
Yeah.
second boss.
Yeah.
I picked up Shadows of War. I've been playing the crap out of that. That is a great game. They really
Yeah.
they did well. They got rid of some of the monotonous, repetitive little side quests and stuff that
Really?
that were in the first one.
Yeah.
And they added more buildings, so it's easier to move around and be stealthy in this one, I found, than the other one. What else was I playing? Oh, Eve Valkyrie Warzone. It's a non-VR game, and you fly around little fighters and dogfight against other players.
PC or?
It's PC and Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Or not Xbox, sorry, PlayStation.
Really?
It's
on
PS4.
PlayStation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
So they have
It's
any
pretty
link to EVE Online or
Just the
besides
same,
fact-
just the same universe.
Yeah.
I mean, Eve tried to meld like a first-person shooter with Eve itself, where you could land on the planets and fight wars on the planets to take over resources.
hmm
But it was shit. They put the plug on it not too long ago.
Jeff, is it the same game as the VR game?
It's basically it's the non-VR version.
But it's the exact same missions and like it's
No,
the same
there's-
game other than that, or is it? No,
There's
is it
not
different?
really missions. It's mostly multiplayer.
Okay.
What's nice about it, though, is they use actual physics in space. So you can slow down your ship and rotate and hit your booster, and you'll instantly just go in that direction. So
Right. But
it's
is
not
it-
like a...
Do you just buy one game and then turn VR off and on in the menu?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I picked it up for Steam on my PC to play it because I already have it for my PlayStation. So
Is it?
I
Would you
just don't-
recommend? Like I played that demo at Best Buy with the PSVR. Would you recommend it as a not VR experience? I mean, is it as good as other flying games?
It's visually it's not as good because you get used to looking for ships, but you don't get sick playing it.
Right.
That's the bonus for this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I've been torn between that. I've been playing Eve on and off too, just regular old Eve. Resubbed my second account, so I have my miner back in because the new expansion releases today when this video gets set out.
Oh wow.
So looking forward to that. But yeah, Shadows of War is an awesome game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna miss it due to time constraints. I can't play sequels anymore. There's too much new stuff.
Yeah, there is a lot
as
of
I
new
play
stuff.
Zelda and Persona 5, I don't know. Maybe I'll shut up.
Yeah, Witcher 3.
Witcher 3.
This Destiny 2 seasons aren't going to bring you in? You can have snowball fights?
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
That is so good.
Anything else?
Well, at least in Eve, during Christmas time, you can add these snowball launchers. You can go out and target people and shoot snowballs in space. That's pretty
Nice. Space snowballs. Nice.
cool. Then they melt after Christmas. They melt. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Wait.
So, my week did a couple reads. I read 172 of The Walking Dead, which missing Walking Dead TV show right now. I guess I'm gonna watch it tomorrow night. But
Shit.
Corey said last week he said that this was a throwaway issue. This is not a throwaway issue. There's so much going on in 172. I'm down with it. It's totally cool.
I didn't say it was throwaway. It's just like, I don't know, nothing huge happened. It's just kind of...
Nothing huge happened. That
What,
last page is huge.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I think it's huge. And then Star Wars number 37. Anybody read that one yet?
Yes, I did.
Started it.
So it's bittersweet because you finally got the Scar Troopers again. Cool story with them, and it is Aaron's last book. They say at the end of it, so it's being handed off to somebody else.
Good writer.
I wish he would. I'm curious. Like, are they going to move on in the Scar Troopers will just be a part of the greater universe, or are they going to continue? Like, is the next issue going to be on them? Are they a part of this arc? I'm curious how that's going to work out.
Yeah, very interesting. I like that one though. I read it on a plane when I was going to Vegas.
Yeah, it was good. And then last night I watched Heathers for the first time in my life. So I can't believe it took me this long to miss that.
What is Heathers?
It's Heathers.
Oh, dude,
It's like a
fantastic.
80s
It's a good
movie
flick.
starring Winona Ryder and River Phoenix. It's a black comedy.
Hot goth life.
yeah, right. Yeah.
High school goth life.
And not really, and almost weird because she's popular, right? Like, I don't know,
Yeah,
it's weird.
right.
But then for video games, playing more Hellblade. Corey, I swear, you're wrong. You got to play some more. I swear. It's good. You'll like it. Remember when you put down The Last of Us?
Don't compare it to The Last of Us.
No, I'm telling you, it's really, really, really great. And I've gotten to a point now where the fights go away. I haven't had a fight in 3 hours at this point, which is weird.
I thought the whole game was only 6 hours.
I'm past 6 hours at this point, and I am not. I don't think I'm close. I think I've got another 2, 3, 4 to go. But I love it. It's so good. I cannot. Something finally happened that was different than just her hearing voices. That kind of did like, without ruining stuff. Like I can't say it without ruining it, but they got really, really cool with her mental illness and how she fights it and stuff. It blew me away, and she's in hell at the same time. So I just can't say enough about that game. Persona 4, Dancing All Night, still playing that. Everybody's Golf Course. Still playing Dragon's Crown. That's like my before bedtime nightcap is playing a little bit of playing a mission in Dragon's Crown. I love it. But what I kind of want to talk the most about is Gran Turismo. Came out last week. Geez. And so I've been playing the crap out of Gran Turismo.
Just for
you guys are like crack dealers with that game. I almost bought it yesterday.
They're like, you want to play some? Come on, man.
I know.
What it?
It's like, I'm jonesing, man, and I almost bought it, and then The Closter boys tapped out last night.
That was
Yeah,
late.
I know. It was
I
late.
was waiting for him to play, but
I got stuck in Heather's. But so Gran Turismo, I just want to get the bad out of the way first. Like Gran Turismo, in the early days of Gran Turismo, when a new Gran Turismo game came out, it was like the thing that when somebody came over who doesn't play video games and you want to show them how great graphics are nowadays, you threw in
Yeah.
Gran Turismo.
Yep.
This game does not look great. And
Oh, really?
I feel like Drive Club looks better 5 years ago, to be honest.
Wow.
It doesn't control great. Like, I feel like Dirt is a much more realistic feel to the driving of it than Gran Turismo does. So it's not bad, but it's not up to snuff with today's standards in the visuals or in the
That's
I
what
say,
the
just
knock-
the feel of it or whatever.
Yeah, that's what the knock
compare it
was,
with-
right?
I'd like to compare it with the Pro and the non-Pro, because when you boot it up, it's like the first thing it says was you can choose high graphics for Pro or high frame rate for Pro, but it says it still has better graphics than the regular PlayStation, even with the high frame rate.
Sure.
So it's like it has 2 tiers higher than the regular PlayStation as far as graphics. So, but I
You
don't,
think they look
I don't
good?
know what. I think it looks really good.
Yeah. You think it looks better than Drive Club and Dirt and stuff?
I mean, yeah, or as good.
Okay. No, I'm curious. I'd like to check it out too.
Yeah.
We'll go up to Michigan.
Yeah. So the good though is, first of all, the opening movie is like the greatest car 10-minute
it's
video ever
sweet.
made. It's so cool. Like you're all of a sudden like, damn, these guys, their head's in the right spot.
Right.
Then I'm finally playing enough now where I get online and do the daily races. And I gotta say, like, it's forever changed. When I play like the single player Gran Turismo games and all those cars just get in a line and I like try to bank my turns off of reflecting off of one of them so I can keep up the maximum speed and stuff, that stuff's just stupid. You get to first place and stick there forever. Now in this game, when I go in the online races, there's like 24 race cars and it's always, I'm terrible at it. It's always me and like 3 or 4 other people fighting to not be in last place when the race is over. But it's great. Like racing against real people. And what they do is they have this ranking thing where when you hit another car, if you even bump them a little bit, it's called sportsmanship rating. And it either goes up or down as you're driving. And so if you hit another car, it goes down. And then so your rank in overall is A, B, C, D, E, F. And you get stuck in races with people who are the same rank as you. So nobody's online just trying to smash you off the track. Nobody's doing that. You know what I mean? Everybody's racing good like you would in a real car. So like there'll be times where I'm coming up on people. In any other racing game, I would just try and smash into them. And in this one, I'm like, there's a curve coming up. I got to slow down and wait so we don't hit each other and then overtake them coming out of the curve. Like really has me thinking differently about racing in video games anyways. So I got to say I'm loving it. It'll be in my PlayStation for a long time for sure.
Well, it's because you have a big
Just
hard
doing
drive,
this
too.
stuff. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Dirk.
All right, Corey, you got big news?
Yeah. So yeah, my week started Tuesday night at midnight. I started playing Gran Turismo. I was digging it. It's like, all right, I'm gonna play this every night, and then I went to bed, and then during the day on Tuesday, went and bought the Switch. I haven't touched Gran Turismo since then. So it's pretty sweet.
I might do it. I have it on my list.
Yeah,
Dude.
Me too.
I love it. I really love it. So I got the Switch, got
Couples thing.
the Pro controller, which is
Nice.
really
Overpriced.
overpriced $80 controller. But it's a nice controller. I mean, it's PS4, Switch. I mean,
It
about
looks
the
like an
same.
Xbox one.
Yeah, the sticks are in different locations, but pretty much the same size. It feels comfortable in your hands and everything. So,
It's not massive like the original Xbox controller.
well, it's not an Xbox controller. But, Yeah, it's awesome. It comes with this little thing to stick the Joy-Cons into and make your own controller, which is it's smaller, but it's not out of control small. Like I used it until I got this from Amazon, and it wasn't like
Terrible.
terrible. It did the job.
Yeah.
I wasn't pissed playing with it the whole time, but it's totally awesome. I got Zelda finally, which is why I bought it. Loving Zelda. I'm on to my second Divine Beast.
Nice.
Get roasting in the volcano.
Oh, that shit sucks.
But yeah.
Until you get lightning.
Yeah. I was by lightning. I quickly switched off my Metal Gear. But Zelda's great. To be honest, I wouldn't call it best game of all time yet. I think it's a really great game, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. But I think I liked The Witcher better and The Last of Us better up until this point.
Yeah, if you wouldn't by now, then you won't. You know what I mean? Like to me,
Yeah.
I just love the feel of it so much, and I felt
Yeah.
that like an hour into it. You know what I mean?
The
Very
soundtrack. Soundtrack good?
Soundtrack is great.
Yeah, that's half of
It's
it.
pretty good. But yeah, it's alright.
Right.
So that being said, like top 10, or do you put it as number 3, or what do you?
It's top 10 probably so far.
All right,
I
just
don't
making
know.
sure you
Yeah,
like it.
I mean, yeah, I really like it. I'm playing it every second I get. Well, not really, because the other game, the other big game I got was Mario Kart, which is awesome, but I knew what I was getting with Mario Kart. It's Mario Kart, and it's the best version of Mario Kart right now, and Mario Kart's great. We all know Mario Kart's great, so I just want somebody, I almost didn't even want to buy it yet, because I don't know anybody else who has it on the Switch yet, and I really like Mario Kart. Playing with other people is where the real fun's at, and
Well, don't you
so
take your
it's-
Switch to your buddy's house and bust
Yeah.
out the 2 controllers and?
I
That's
plan
what Switch is
to.
all about, yeah?
I didn't have a second controller up until yesterday.
I thought you could play it with them sideways with the teeny ones.
You probably can. The only thing with Mario Kart is it has. So this is how big one is in your
They're
hand.
tiny.
So,
They are tiny.
I mean, but it's.
Sure.
If you got big meat paws, it makes it hard.
But it's actually, it doesn't, I haven't done it yet, but it feels like it wouldn't be terrible. But the only thing is it only has 2 top buttons, and the Mario Kart 8 uses 4. It uses L1 and L2 for the 2 different power-ups. I don't know if they just take that functionality away if you use these.
You got to figure it out. You need to be a reporter on the scene.
Or what. Yeah, I'll figure it out, and I'll bring it over to my buddy's house one of these days. But the other game that's been taken away from my time from Zelda really is Golf Story. It's really fucking awesome. I'm almost more hyped about that than Zelda, to be honest. It's so good. It's like
That's the one on. That's the Switch one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, we
Switch.
saw that. Yeah. Damn, I want to play
Switch
that.
exclusive. It's so good. I mean, it's like an old school RPG mixed with a golf game. It's awesome. I mean, the story in it's so cool. I mean, I'm going around like taking other kids' lunch money. I went and like kicked the disc golfers off the course because everybody hates them. And like, it's trying to get trained by the coach, and everybody on his team doesn't want me there. It's like the rich girl, and like, I mean, it's just like an awesome little RPG story going on, and good golf mechanics too. I mean, it's really, really fun. I mean, it's like, it's so good. Like, I love golf games, and I love RPGs, and it's like, it's an awesome combination that you never would have thought of. Like, it's so cool. Like, it's only $15. Like,
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I don't know about, I mean, it's worth $60, But like they could charge $40 no problem. I feel like for how good it is. But yeah, for $15.
So it beats Destiny 2 then.
Yeah, it's
Great
so
advantage.
good. And apparently it has 2-player too. I don't even know how that would work. I think maybe you just play around against each other, but really really awesome. And then
Is the golf?
then-
Is it like the old Mario Golf? I mean, is it top down, 3-click, and then like the camera's never behind you, right? Like it's all
correct.
on top.
It's top down 3-click, but
Okay.
there's slopes on the green and stuff. There's there's draw and fade and spin and everything.
Nice.
It has all the mechanics. So
Cool.
it works. It all works well. You think it'd be kind of weird with top down, but they do it well. It really works good. Like, and you can choose the whole, like, you press X to go into striking mode, and then it just shows the ball, and you just choose which part of the whole ball that you want to hit for your different type of spin, and then Y for precision mode to adjust like your distance with each club, and then you can change clubs and everything you can do with the regular golf games, and it's better than everybody's golf. Like, so it's
Funny. Cool.
really good. And then I got Stardew Valley, Stardew Valley's great, but yeah, I've just been Zelda.
Did you eat the mushroom soup yet?
not on the Switch. I did on
Okay.
PS4.
Alright.
But yeah, Zelda and Golf Story's been my week really. So and that's it. Didn't read anything. Didn't watch anything. Just been doing that.
Gotcha. Cool.
Sweet.
All right, a couple things. Well, one thing, I guess, for now. The Rami from Coaching with Geeks is going to join us next. So,
Yeah. Woot.
okay. So we got Rami with us this week, the dating coach for Coaching for Geeks. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
You can find it
Awesome.
at, it's a Facebook group, Coaching for Geeks, or the website, coachingforgeeks.com.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you want to kind of, before we get into it, if you want to share just the bare bones about it, pretend like you got some viewers from our show that have never heard of it, don't know anything about it, kind of just the breakdown of the project.
So Coaching for Geeks is like started off as a Facebook group. I think we're at something like 800 members now. And essentially it's just a group of geeks that all got together, and there are 3 main coaches, if you will. There's Austin, who is our fitness coach, and he's actually runs a gym. We've Robin, who is like the life coach, and he gets you to succeed at whatever basically your goal is. And I'm the dating coach, the latest recruit. And so Coaching for Geeks, like essentially it's a place where we teach geeks to get better at life and level up in whatever aspect they want.
Sure.
And it's also a place where like we just kind of hang out and, you know, post funny memes, talk about video games, get D&D groups together, that kind of stuff. Geek stuff, you know?
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if you had a chance to check out our stuff. We do a D&D game as our other show. We do this talk show.
Yes.
And then
Woohoo!
D&D. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, I had the chance to listen to a few of your shows this week. I was definitely impressed. I got to say, as soon as I forget who it was that hit me up on Twitter when I first kind of became aware of you guys, but it's definitely is a unique idea. You know, not a lot of people are doing that. You know, we feel like on YouTube, and we're kind of the minority having a talk show like this and a long form kind of video. But your guys' idea also seems super unique. So thought it'd be cool to have you join. So
Thanks.
yeah, absolutely. So with being the relationship coach for Coaching for Geeks, like how do you tailor relationship advice to geeks, right? How's it different from everybody else?
Geeks tend to be more introverted as a general rule. Not always, but generally speaking. And geeks tend to like people who are like-minded, so we tend to like other geeks. It doesn't have to be the same geek, you know, like I could be an anime geek and you could be a gamer, but as long as we both know we have that some kind of like geeky passion, we'll still get along.
Sure.
So the way I tailor it to geeks is I just assume they're socially awkward. I assume they may be a little shy and a little bit more reluctant to go talk to people in person. And I assume that they don't necessarily enjoy your typical like bar or club environment, right? So
Sure.
like if you're like a regular dating coach and you want to teach someone to meet someone new, you can be like, well, just go to bars and clubs and you'll be good to go, and I'll show you the ropes from there. But like, can you imagine one of you guys like getting dragged to a crazy hip nightclub in the city where there's like crazy loud pumping music and there's people dressed to the nines, and you got to go and talk to a girl on top of that? You know, like most of us hate that environment, right? So whenever I teach geeks to meet women or men, you know, depending on what they're into, I usually tell them to look for places, like create an avatar of the person you want to meet, and then sort of try to figure out if there's anyone in your surroundings who is close to that person, and then ask them where that type of person hangs out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you'll have better odds meeting that person at, like, if you want a fitness person, then at a bouldering event or a yoga retreat or something. Or if they're like more geeky, you'll have a better chance of meeting them at like a gamer meetup or a board game night somewhere than you would at a nightclub.
Right. Gotcha.
Right.
Nice.
I gotta say,
Cool.
your description of a nightclub kind of, I was in a few places like that.
Me too.
I mean, not the Unts clubs. I mean,
I've been there.
I once was in that mystical place and I did not like it.
Yeah. So nice. I was just gonna ask. I'm assuming, being a geek, coaching for geeks, coach, you consider yourself a geek. What are your geeky interests? I read you play Tekken competitively. What else?
Oh, yeah.
What do you like to do?
Wow, Tekken.
So, briefly about Tekken competitively, I was ranked in 2014. I think I was I made 17th at EVO, which is like the biggest fighting games tournament in the world.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm actually currently, I want to say, top 3 in Canada right now. We'll find out this week at the Canada Cup. We're all going to Toronto for the weekend to play.
Awesome.
Yeah, so what else am I into? I guess pretty much comic books, I guess, would be my favorite thing. I love reading comics.
You're on the right show then.
You know, like, I'm a huge fan of, I'll go from anything from like mainstream Marvel and mainstream DC all the way to like old obscure Dark Horse comics, or like really cool Ed Brubaker neo-noir stuff from like late 90s, early 2000s. Like, I'm into all of it. I like anime quite a bit as well. But I would say like my main interest is fighting games, comic books, and sci-fi fantasy stuff, like heroic fantasy. I mean, you can see the bookshelf behind me.
Yeah.
I think all the top shelves, the top 2 rows, are all heroic fantasy books.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Reading.
And if you see those comics back there, those are original Shape the Changing Man
Nice.
comics, original editions.
That's great. Cool, man.
Sweet.
I gotta say, back in the 90s, in my crappy apartment in New Orleans, we had a PlayStation on like a teeny 17-inch CRT TV, and Tekken 3, that was the jam. We would pass around controllers all night long on Tekken 3 for sure.
That game was boss, man.
Yeah.
In fact, the tournament I'm going to in 2 weeks is called Rumble in the Tundra, and it's in Buffalo on November 11th. They're doing a regular Tekken 7 tournament, and they're also doing a Tekken Decathlon, where it's all Tekken games. And so just before your match starts, they like randomly choose one of the Tekken games, and you got to fight at that game.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it includes Tekken Ball. You remember the Tekken volleyball game?
Yeah.
That's in there as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So, going back to your fantasy book reads, I'm reading Robin Hobb right now. Have you read any of her stuff? Loyal Assassin. Yeah, she does some really good stuff. But I guess, do you have any go-to guides, like written or online, that you recommend, or literature that comes to mind that you would, I guess, recommend people who have trouble with, human contact or being awkward or yada yada, that they could go to check out?
I mean, I run a blog called GutsyGeek.com, where I teach guy geeks to meet girl geeks. We're also posting on coachingforgeeks.com new articles for both men and women to meet other geeks. Those are the 2 main places I'd say. And then you could buy a bunch of books on like body language, making friends, that kind of stuff. But all of it is sort of catered to everyone, like your regular Joe. And it's not necessarily with a dating slant, So like you can get the Dan Carnegie's very famous How to Make Friends and Influence People book. And that'll give you like an idea of how to make friends, but not really. You can also get, there's this amazing book I'm reading right now by a former FBI agent. I forget what it's called. The Friendship Code or the Friendship Guide or something like that. And he basically talks about how to make friends as an FBI agent, having to, go undercover and meet new people and make friends with like people on the other side, get them to come to your side, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's an amazing book. I'll find the name for you in a sec.
Get the name, and I'll tell you about Robin Hobb. I'll share it online.
Please do.
Sweet.
Cool. I can't believe this question didn't come up earlier, but how did you come into being a dating coach for geeks? Just
that is a very good
personal
question.
Experience with that?
Yeah. So what happened was maybe like the book is called The Like Switch, by the way, by Jack Schaefer. Switch. Yeah. So it started off in like 2010. So it's 7 years ago now. I had ended up in a relationship, kind of lucked out, and she was beautiful and smart and interesting and just a great human being. And when we broke up because she moved away, I was like, okay, so I lucked into a relationship. How do I get another one? I was like, because I was one of those guys that went to university, and for 4 years I didn't have a single date. Like no dates, no contact, no kissing, nothing. It was like the longest dry spell in the universe. And university is where you go to get laid and get drunk and do all this stuff. I didn't do any of it. So, after university, I meet this girl, everything goes well, we date, we break up, and I'm like, okay, how did I end up with her? How do I get another one like her, So I started looking into it. I found like the world of pickup artists and dating coaches and body language experts and whatever, and I started learning all this stuff. And it took like a lot of time to sort of figure out and learn from all these people. And what I ended up doing is go out to clubs and bars 4 nights a week for, I think, almost 2 years.
Wow.
And I would talk to, especially at the beginning, I would try to talk to 10 groups of women per night just to kind of get in the habit of talking to people. And it averaged out to, and being a geek, I had like an Excel spreadsheet, and I kept notes and everything. And I was like, okay, if an average group is between 2 and 4 women, so if we average it out to like 2.5 women, that's 25 women a night, that's 100 women a week, that's, 800 women in 8 weeks, so 2 months. And I was like, okay, so what's my number? How do I want to get to it? Where are my stats? How many of them did I like talk to? How many gave me a phone number? And I did all this crazy like calculation stuff. And I started figuring out what worked and what didn't.
Sure.
So after doing this, my friends sort of figured out what was going on because I stopped playing games as much and I was going out more. And they're like, dude, what's going on here, man? Is there something you're not telling us? And I was like, well, I'm learning to pick up girls, I'm learning to date and all this stuff. And they began asking me for advice. And I started giving them advice. They started taking it, and they started like getting dates. Some lost their virginity. Like all kinds of cool things started happening. And and then I met my friend Emily. Well, I got in touch with her again, and she was like, Rami, you should start a blog at the intersection of the things you love. And those things are geekery and dating. And you should like put them together and get something going. And so I did. That's where my blog came from, Gutsy Geek, and that's where it all happened. And then of course Robin found me on Twitter a few months ago, and he runs coaching for geeks. He's like, we need a dating coach. I was like, I can be that person for you guys. And that was it.
Awesome.
That's
awesome. So one more time, Rami, if you wouldn't mind, can you just lay out everywhere people can find you and Coaching for Geeks on the internet?
Yeah, so if you go type cfgshortcut.com, that'll take you straight to the Facebook group. It's the Coaching for Geeks Facebook group. It's run by Robin Bates. You can't miss it. Just Google that. It's the best place to find us. It's where we dump all the cool info. We give you great posts, and you can meet other cool geeks that want to learn about life and dating and fitness. The other place is coachingforgeeks.com, straight up. It's the actual official website for Coaching, and there's like guides, there's a sign-up thing. If you're a guy geek interested in meeting women, we're opening the official course for you on November 1st. So I recommend you get on coachingforgeeks.com ahead of time, sign up, and on November 1st we open the course and you can sign up and learn to meet women.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks
Sweet.
for joining us. It's been fun.
It was my pleasure, you guys. Thank you very much for having
Thanks,
me.
Rami.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. All right, on to the news of the week. Rami's going to stick with us for this, so guess this week. Starting at number 5, the Han Solo Star Wars movie title was announced. Solo.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. The title is just lacking.
Solo.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, it's what people were guessing it was going to be beforehand, but you know,
It's still lame.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what the official. I guess the running on it. I don't know. You know, so.
Yeah, Ron Howard. Did you guys see the tweet video? He just does
I
like a
did.
5-minute video, and then at the end of it, he just pulls up a plaque and says, "See you next year" or whatever.
You know, like he went back to his OP days.
Yeah, it's Ron Howard. You know.
So just an FYI, guys, I think the name is hilarious because there was already a movie called Solo,
Yeah.
starring Mario Van Peebles from like 1995.
Wasn't that rock climbing?
It's like a terrible, no, it's a B-movie about like some kind of android dude.
Oh.
It's got like 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's terrible. Like
I
the
think
tagline is
yes. I think I remember that.
Hot
I do
Machine,
remember it.
Total Weapon.
Oh man.
Oh, jeez.
All right, I think
Yeah.
we've said all we can say about Solo.
Okay. Yeah. So, number 4. I was fired up to hear about this because I just bought, since I just got the Switch this week. Ultra Sun and Moon be the last Pokemon on 3DS. Moving to Switch afterwards. So,
Yeah, I read the
Yeah,
article. You know, they basically the maker of the game talked about how they're pushing the 3DS to its limits and they can't take it any further and stuff. Like, I don't think Pokemon's that complicated of a game. You know?
yeah, I mean,
But yeah, it's like you say, it's good. They need to. I don't have a Switch yet. Still just have the 3DS, but they need to abandon the 3DS. They got to move on at this point, especially now that the Switch is as popular as it is. I would never guess the Switch would be where it is today. And yeah, once Pokemon hits it, it's over. You know.
yeah, exactly. Then it's gonna blow up hard. So definitely helps me not regret the decision of buying it. So, but that being said, I won't be getting Ultra Sun and Moon. I don't think.
Yeah.
Even though it's the culmination. I got Sun and Moon. I think that was enough.
Right.
So
I couldn't imagine playing it again.
yeah, for sure.
I'm glad I missed out.
Oh, it's good. Number 3, Battlefront 2 story trailer dropped.
I was late on it. I just watched it.
Okay.
Well, at least you watched it, Dirk.
So
Yeah.
it looks sweet. You know, I think we can cut out. We've talked Battlefront 2 to death. You know, I think we all know
Yeah.
the story mode's going to make or break it for us. You know, and even my opinion is even if the story's 2 hours, if it's a good story, then I'll be happy. I'm hoping for 10, 12 hours, but I know it won't. And not everyone was
That's
in
way
Battlefront
too long
1.
for a
Yeah,
first-person shooter.
But yeah, this trailer itself, a couple things in there. So there's a couple shots. One of them is flying AT-ATs into Naboo.
Yes, I saw that.
Right?
Yes, that's
that-
pretty pimp.
Yeah, that definitely looked interesting. And then you know, the trailers that it impressed me, to be honest. Like my hopes are higher after watching it.
For sure.
Well, and that's why I when I did my little tirade on Discord that, you know, if they would sink more money into like a single player or a co-op kind of game like Battlefront 2, like story mode is hoping to deliver, I would be
Yeah.
all on board on that.
Wait till we get
But-
to the next topic.
I know. I know what the next topic is. It's just that carrot. It's like they have such a great story with Star Wars. Why cannot game companies figure out how to market it right and
I
just
know.
make
Yeah.
it for what people want?
You're right.
You know,
Yeah.
people have moved on about being a Jedi. Now that the universe is more expanded and we have Force Awakens, Last Jedi coming out, no one wants to be a Jedi. Everyone wants to be like a bounty hunter, smuggler, sort of what Knights of the Old Republic tried to do. But then that just got old and repetitive.
That leads into my question about it. Do you think she stays a villain the entire game?
No, I don't.
Yep.
I don't think she does. I think she'll go good.
I think she turns too. Yeah.
If you're right, Dirk, if they make it a good story from A to Z, and she's Empire the whole time, and she talks about how awesome the Empire is and all that stuff, and they end it like that, I'll be super impressed. If that's
No,
what
I
they
would
do.
too. I would.
I think
love
it's
that.
got to
I
be
would-
the like turn to the good side.
Yeah.
Type of story.
Yeah,
because
but
it's
you
Star
think
Wars.
Ray's going to be turned to the dark side in
For
Last
one
Jedi?
movie, just for one movie, she'll go back in 9.
She'll go back.
Kylo will go save her. You know, Rami, did you see it?
I did not see the trailer.
Okay, all right,
Oh,
all right.
spoilers.
Check it out. It looks.
Check it
good.
out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
Super good.
So, all right, number 2. EA shuts down Visceral Games.
Play the funeral march.
This is the worst news ever.
It is.
Yeah, this really sucks. Not just EA shutting down Visceral Games, but just to walk it back for anybody who doesn't watch us constantly talk about this crap. Amy Hennig, who she made Uncharted and is kind of one of the biggest names in video games, moved to EA to make this single player story-based Star Wars game that was going to be canon. I was so, as soon as I heard about that, I've been excited about it, and that's canceled. That deal's done, gone, over. They're making a
Where's
different
she going?
project. They don't know. They were cagey. They were cagey, like saying that we're in talks with her about what the future holds. The quote was something like that, and in their explanation for it was also all about how you can't put. I'm putting words in their mouth, but it was all about you can't put microtransactions and loot boxes into a single player story-based game, and that EA makes games as a service now instead of
Yeah.
games. And
Yeah.
so, they're going to turn they want their Star Wars game to be Destiny or something that you can put money into until the end of time, and they don't want that single-based story. So, worst news ever. It makes me totally pissed that EA's got the Star Wars deal, right? Because we'll never
Yeah.
get just a cool story Star Wars game. Everything's got to be multiplayer hooks with, whatever monetization to the
Yeah,
hill.
it's bullshit.
Yeah,
And
it
shitty
sucks.
hitboxes on the avatars, so you can't fucking kill anybody, but they can headshot you across Hoth.
Yeah.
Oh man. Also,
Next.
Dead Space too.
Yeah,
RIP.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Visceral Games made Dead Space. That's been
Dead
the
Space
deal
is
for
an
the
awesome
past 2
game.
years. Yeah,
Dead
everybody
Space
thinks
was
Dead
great.
Space is good too. So yeah, it sucks. Sucks in general. It makes me really pissed at EA for sure.
Yeah.
That said, I'll
Oh,
buy
bummer.
anything with the name Star Wars on it and go play it anyways, like an idiot. I'm not that adamant.
Right.
Like an idiot.
Yeah. So, yeah, on number 1 news of the week, Black Panther trailer dropped. Looks
Yeah,
pretty badass.
yeah, it looks great. I think
Yep.
I cannot get
Absolutely.
enough of this.
I still have my
yeah.
reservations about it.
About the movie?
Yeah. We'll wait, but it's just...
What are your reservations?
I think they're... Yeah, I said I think they're trying to... I hope the trailer feels like it's trying to placate to the black audience, but wait until the movie.
But what if? Okay, and this goes back to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If it's an all-black staff or crew or director, then
But who produces it?
What do you mean?
And does the who produces it, and does the director have final say on final cut? Because if the production company has final say on final cut, they're going to change the ending.
Okay, all right. So let's not go all the way down that rabbit hole.
not gonna
yet.
go down
Just
that
talk
rabbit
about the actual trailer itself. Like I think his character was so great in Civil War.
Oh man,
And especially those action scenes, the one where they're all running down the highway and whatnot. Is
that suit.
it's
That
so
suit is
awesome.
incredible.
Yeah. In this trailer, watching him, the action scenes look great. They gave that new shot where who's the guy who was in Ultron, who was selling them arms to Wakanda? They had
The Claw.
Is that his name? The guy.
Ulysses
I
Claw.
don't know what his name is.
The guy in the beginning of the movie where all the Avengers are going and invading that base, and he's like got all the arms in there, and he says that he
I
gets
thought it was
metal from
Ulysses
Wakanda.
Claw. It's
Okay.
I
So-
think so.
They show him hanging out the side of the car, and they shoot a rocket at the Black Panther's car, and then he
Yeah,
runs up
that's
and
him.
runs across the side of the building, and then down tears their tire off. That shit looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Rami, what do you think? It looks like you saw it.
Yeah. So I used to read Black Panther comics in the late 90s, early 2000s when it was written by Christopher Priest, which I think is my favorite run of Black Panther of all time. And in that run, Black Panther's like in the background kind of, manipulating everyone to do kind of what he wants, right? And I felt like in the film, it was a young Black Panther, so he's only beginning to sort of manipulate people from the background and see things for what they truly are. Like he's the only one who sees through, what was his name? The Baron's
Oh yeah,
plot at the end, right?
Yeah, right.
I forget his name, sorry. So in the film, I guess this is kind of what makes him go to the next level, and you start to see the Black Panther that we recognize from the comics. And so I'd like to see that because Eric Killmonger is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Which is going to be awesome. The double Panther outfits, like the purple one and the gold one, right? Differentiate them.
Yeah.
That's going to be rad.
Looks awesome.
My only worry is it might be a little CGI heavy, but
Yeah.
that could be the trailer. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, most comic book movies are CGI heavy.
Mhm.
I think it actually enhances that comic book feel if you really think about it. If it was any other movie with that much CGI, it would look like the CGI in Rogue One.
It
Right.
depends how well they pull it off,
Yeah.
True.
There's one shot for like you only see it for a second where the two of them are fighting like in space. Like it looks like they're falling out of the back of a spaceship. Like that gets me excited as we kind of move towards Avengers 3 and getting the galactic part of the MCU involved with the regular part of it. I'm super excited for that. So in it didn't even, to be honest, I don't have a history with Black Panther. I was not expecting space.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool.
I
Corey,
think.
Corey, what do you think? You
Yeah.
haven't said anything yet.
I think it looks really awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
the action scenes look great. We'll see. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the soundtrack. That song kind of sucked in the
Oh,
trailer,
yeah.
but it looks awesome. So
Totally.
can't wait.
So
I'm wondering.
do we want to go down the politics, Black Hole?
No,
No,
we don't.
no, because I guarantee you, Jeff
I've been
and I will
reading-
see eye to eye on this.
I know.
by the end of the
It's
show, so.
because I've been reading a lot of stuff about Spike Lee's movies and stuff right now, so I got a lot of stuff in my head, and
All right, let's leave
But
it alone.
we'll leave it
actually,
alone.
One thing I will say though, not politically related or anything, but I honestly think this has a shot at being possibly the next, in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the next Iron Man, if it plays, the way that it could play
Yeah.
with the audience. There's just there's a lot of history in Black Panther that they can write from or do a show from. So I'm hoping at least.
Yeah, I mean, the character's been around for like 60 years or something crazy, or like 70
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
They have tons of storylines they can take.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
Cool. All right. That's the news of the week, Rami. Thanks for
Hey.
joining.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
Yep.
Side note, if they're going to outer space and Nova ever makes an appearance, will his name be Dick Reiter? Or will they change it? That's what I want to know.
There's no way.
That's funny.
I'm imagining they'll probably change it.
All right.
I hope you call him Richard. Anyway, it was nice hanging with you guys.
Thanks, Rami.
Later.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
All right. Well, that was great having Rami on. Thanks again. Really appreciate that. Everybody go
Yeah,
to their
thanks,
stuff.
Rami.
I'll put the info in the description and in the video and in the audio shows. So as always, we jump around YouTube. People on YouTube, come subscribe to us. We really appreciate that. We're trying to share the love to everybody. These are the people this week that share their subscriptions and have subscribed to our channel. We checked out their stuff. They got good things. So
Yeah. Got, first off, the tallish alien.
Yeah. Anthony C., I want to thank you. He is better known as Fords8. Much
Oh,
love.
cool. Last but not least, guys, we got Shattered Glass 23.
nice. So
What?
go subscribe to these people, please. We'll have links to their channels down in our
Name of the week.
description. Yeah. So we always do the game of the week. Or the name of the week? The
Name of the week, game of the
We
week.
do the game of the week also, but the name of the week, so based on nothing with the channels but these names written on a piece of paper, it got to be the tallish alien.
Tallish alien.
Tallish
Yeah.
alien.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
win. You're the name of the week.
Yeah, the name of the week.
All right. So as always, we do all sorts of things. Check them out, please. You can go to our website, gamescomicsandculture.wordpress.com. Our Twitter's at GCandC. And then find us on Instagram, Discord, Facebook. Did I miss anything else?
Discord.
Yeah, that's about it.
Twitter.
So,
That's
yeah,
it. Twitter.
yeah, all the stuff. So, and if you're watching the audio version, if you're listening to the audio version, we do this on YouTube. If you're watching the video version, we also do it in podcast format. Search for all your favorite stuff: Apple, iTunes, Switcher,
Apple
Stitcher.
iTunes.
Apple iTunes.
And Google Play.
Google Play.
Oh,
Have
wow.
a great week.
We love our
Thanks,
fam.
everybody.
Sorry. One last thing. We also promised the Realm this week. We moved that to next week because of Rami joining us. So
It's awesome.
Rami.
stay tuned.
Wrong. And thanks to Fred Thomas for the open music and Xee Reiter for our logo.
Thank y'all.
Right.